Hi students, we have been studying about a scientific genius Albert Einstein. Last time we saw up to this paragraph where Albert Einstein was recognized by the whole world and praised by the press for his scientific revolution. And today we are going to look at this paragraph. When the Nazis came to power in Germany in 1933, Einstein emigrated to the United States. Emigrated means moved to the United States. 5 years later, the discovery of nuclear fission in Berlin. Nuclear fission, in the sense, fission is a process of splitting nucleus of an atom into smaller particles. That took place in Berlin. Had American physicists in an uproar. Uproar means to their excitement. Many of them had fled from fascism. Fascism is actually state controls everything. People have no rights to say anything or rule the state. Here business and the government take over everything. They control of the marketplace and everything. So many of them had fled from fascism. They just moved out of fascism just as Einstein had. Einstein also didn't like this fascism and he moved out of it. And now they were afraid the Nazis could build and use an atomic bomb. The Germans would use the atomic bomb. So, atomic bomb is a bomb with huge destructive power. If that is exploded in a particular place, there would be nothing growing later for 10 to 15 years. So it has such power. At the urging of a colleague, at the urging means pushing, a strong desire of a colleague, Einstein wrote a letter to the American president, Franklin D. Franklin D. Roosevelt on 2nd August 1939, in which he warned a single bomb of this type exploded in a port in a harbor might very well destroy the whole port together with some of the surrounding territory. A single bomb can destroy so many things in a lot of covering a lot of area. So he was against it. His words did not fail to have an effect. The Americans developed the atomic bomb in a secret project of their own. So they kept it a secret and they developed the atomic bomb and dropped it on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. You know the destruction which took place when they put the atomic bomb on these cities. Einstein was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction. He was so lot of worried. He was so worried that he was the cause for this destruction. This time he wrote a public missive. Missive is a letter, especially long and official letter to the United Nations. In it, he proposed the formation of a world government. World government should be formed. Unlike the letter to Roosevelt, this one made no impact. There was no result, there was no response to the letter. But over the next decade, after 10 years, next 10 years, Einstein got ever more involved in politics. So he got into politics to stop all this, agitating for an end desiring for an end, campaigning, campaigning for an end to the arms built up, and using his popularity to campaign for peace and democracy. So he started working for peace and democracy in the world. When Einstein died in 1955 at the age of 76, he was celebrated as a visionary. Visionary means one who person who can think about the future. Visionary and world citizen. Person who thinks for the benefit of the whole world is world citizen as much as a scientific genius. So he was also celebrated as a visionary. The day was celebrated as a visionary and world citizen as much as the world recognizes Einstein as a scientific genius. So this was his success. At the same time, how others used his invention in different ways to to use his invention in different ways to destroy, for destruction, to protect themselves, to defend their countries, and so on. So rest of it can be discussed in the class. Thank you.